Hey guys, Brent Hull, Wednesday design video. Looking at a traditional house in that its form is very symmetrical, but with a modern flair, kind of it built 40 years ago, that we're trying to fix, trying to make it a little bit more timeless. Let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, working on a house that's built in the 80s and early 90s. It's a weird house. It's because it's kind of modern, but it's also traditional. You'll notice that there's real clear symmetry. You got the kind of two bays, kind of 4 and 4. This tree really kind of disrupts that. There's an arch window here. I don't know if you can see this balcony. It's a metal balcony that you might see in an apartment building or in the stairway of a commercial building downtown for fire safety. It's just very utilitarian, very almost ugly. There's a little bit of a bulge to it. And then look at the door, very colonial revival door. You got the lights with the two side lights on either side. It's odd to me that, because inside are very modern moldings, flat, square, doors are slab doors, no 6-panel doors or anything. So, as I started working with it, I started playing with it, I wanted to break up the windows. I don't like it when these are just, open light casement windows. And so I've drawn a little bit of the windows and stuff on here as I was playing around with it, but they're just basically open lights. And when you have that open light look, it looks like your eyes are poked out. And so I've just, knowing that the customer likes contemporary, I didn't go with a 6 light or an 8 light or some kind of divided light window that's just too traditional for them. So I went with kind of what's considered, the French would do this, where they would kind of divide their lights like this. But this house could also carry brackets, right? You almost put double brackets in here and brackets across there and really Italianize it or give it much more of a different kind of aesthetic, different kind of feel. You've got these two huge chimneys on either side. What I've done is, by doing that with the windows, that allows me to take the door and turn the door into something that then matches. Because right now for me, that door, if we just looked at it separately, doesn't match the windows. I mean, this door, you expect to see a double hung window. You expect to see something very traditional, colonial revival, and then you see these kind of blank light windows and it kind of takes on a modern feel and it's kind of lost. Going with a pair of doors as opposed to a single door with side lights, so you're staying in the same space, but then dividing the doors like the windows, all of a sudden they all start blending and working together. This balcony, I'm getting rid of the metal, I'm straightening it out. There's also an arch door there that's never really worked very well. And they don't really use that balcony. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lessen the, architectural strength or imposition of that balcony and going back with something simple. And in the French style, you often see a diamond kind of as a decorative in a lower panel and things like that. So I'm not just totally in love with this balcony railing, but it's better than what's there and it's more traditional. And what that allows you to do is that upstairs balcony, this could be a small door that walks out and then it's full of windows, but that's going to allow a lot of great light into that second floor landing space and become much more inviting. Because right now you can't put things against it because the doors are opening, and so it's just kind of a big blank spot in the room, but you never really end up using that door. So the other thing that happens is houses that are older like this, that are, what is this, 40 years old house, is that you begin to get the landscaping overgrown. Now, when the trees are overgrown, that's great, but landscaping like this across the front, those bushes are just too mature. They've grown too high. You'll see that I've changed this landscaping so that the windows poke up a little bit more. I didn't do it on this side. I think there's an opportunity for some great planters right here. And you see I've got some really bold ones, much bolder than what's there, as a really defining piece. And this would be another area where you can help define the story and create an age and a feel for this house. I've done it with these big planters here and some overgrown things. I think it really centers your eye. This little landscape piece here kind of throws you off center. It kind of moves you to this way because you got to go around it to get to the door. Because it rises up so big, it just becomes kind of, it's in your way a little bit. So I even thought taking this planter out and then bringing the thing, certainly if this tree ever comes down, it'd be something I would do that would really help center this property back up. In any case, a few subtle things on this thing, and it really helps bring it together, draw it together, help tell a more cohesive story. Because they like contemporary, I'm not really playing with much. I'm not really adding the brackets or doing new brickwork. The brickwork on this house is interesting. You got this clear corning on either side, and then you got kind of these like the soldier course that runs across there, and soldier course that runs across here. If I could, I'd want to de-emphasize that. I'd want to get rid of that. And so that's why I'm kind of just showing some simplified brickwork over here. And I'm not saying we would change the brickwork on this house, but it is a little bit confusing. So a contemporary traditional house, which direction do we take it? How do we, make it a little bit more timeless? How do you get all the parts and pieces? If you consider the windows, the eave, the doors, that balcony, how do you get all those working together? I think this does it. I think this is an effective way. Let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, better fixing those windows, fixing that door, kind of tying it all together. I think that made a big difference. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.